What's up guys, so today we're out trying to get up close and personal with some wildlife photography. Or maybe more accurately, socially distant and personal. Today I find myself with the Fringer EF-FX Pro 2. This allows me to use Canon lenses with my Fujifilm X camera. And seeing how those social distancing rules still apply, I'm using the Canon 75 to 300mm zoom lens. The size of which can be quite shocking in your hands, particularly if you're used to shooting with a smaller prime lens. And no, that's not a euphemism. As it's a zoom lens, I can be all the way over here and get up close shots like this. So what we've just found here is a grey heron. It's a really beautiful long bird. Has a dagger-like beak. It's very good for fishing. Probably one of the best fishermen in Ireland, really. While seemingly standing completely motionless, it is in fact actively hunting, waiting for the exact moment to strike at an unsuspecting fish with a spear-like bill. We're travelling today down the River Barrow, which is the second largest river in Ireland and home to various different types of wildlife. Unfortunately, I managed to pick an overcast day for this, but the advantage to that is that I can shoot at a much wider aperture. However, I would prefer a faster shutter speed like I'd get away with on a bright sunny day. I was so close to getting the perfect action shot of this bird swooping in and catching a fly, but I was way too slow on the focusing, which is something we're going to get more into in a little bit. As for now, let's check out these swans and their young signets, or swanlings if that's what you want to call them. The slightest movement when using a zoom lens will blur your photo, especially when you're zoomed in all the way, unless you've got a really high shutter speed. But even then, it's going to be so difficult for you to focus your camera while it's shaking about. Remember guys, if you want your stills to be still, then stay still. So a tip would be to try hold as still as possible. Really, you should use a tripod or a remote release button. I was way too lazy to bring some of those with me today. What I'm going to just do is I'm just going to hold as still as possible and try to get some nice photos of these swans. The dark murky area that the swans were feeding in looked absolutely terrible in a colour photo. The water was either brown or like a nuclear waste green. So to save myself some trouble, I just edited the photos to be in black and white. But now back to the Fringer converter mount. So I love the fact that the Fringer lets me use all of these Canon lenses with my Fujifilm X-T3. But if I can be a bit of a negative Nelly for a second, I'd say that the autofocusing is not great. And by not great, I mean it just doesn't exist. There's no autofocusing with any of these Canon lenses that I've tried. Now maybe it's my fault, so if you know how to get the autofocusing to work with the Fringer EF-FX Pro 2 and your Fujifilm camera, let me know, but I've had no luck at all with getting Canon lenses to focus with this. So throughout this whole day, I've just been using manual focus with this lens. And manual focusing is pretty tough with a zoom lens because you're so up close and any slight bit of wobble is shaking that lens on you, making it harder to focus. So I've been doing my best, but we'll probably see that some of those photos came out just a bit blurry. Now I'm not saying that the mount doesn't let you autofocus at all, because it does, but it just does it so slowly. And even when it does finally get there, it often misses the point that you're trying to get in focus entirely. What's that I hear you asking? Alex, why didn't you just get a zoom Fujifilm lens? Well, the problem with that is that I would like to be able to eat this year, and we've all seen that Fujifilm lenses are so damn expensive. So it made much more sense for me to buy a converter mount rather than a new lens, because I have all these Canon lenses that I could just use on it. However, if I'd known that the autofocusing would be such an issue, maybe I would have just saved for one good Fujifilm zoom lens. However, the alternative is that I get faster at manual focusing. But even that's unreliable, because I'd say after about 20 or 30 seconds of looking down the viewfinder, my eyes do get out of focus themselves. On the way back, I decided to slap on the 35mm Fujinon prime lens, which on my X-T3 with its cropped sensor ends up working out at about a 50 or 55mm focal length, which is my favourite focal length to use. At 50mm, everything just kind of looks right. You've probably heard people, I think I've said it before, that 50mm is as close to what the human eye can see. So everything just kind of has a natural look to it. I happened to come across a couple of cool dragonflies. And this hummingbird hawk moth, which uses its long proboscis to pollinate the flowers. And once again, that isn't a euphemism. I know what you guys are like. Overall, I think I'd be much happier with a Fuji zoom lens. I'd also be much happier if I won the lotto, and I think they have equal chances of happening. I'm not quick enough to manually focus on fast-moving subjects like the birds, which is a real shame, because one of my ideal photography goals would be to get a photo of a kingfisher, which is quite an inconspicuous and shy bird, which makes it hard to capture. But I'm going to keep trying, and I think I'm going to get a photo of one soon. Let me know in the comments what your photography goals are, or what animal you would love to take photos of. Thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate if you hit like and subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.